Hey everyone, this week's peaceful pattern is wild. It's called Twilight Zone. It's by CZT Suzanne McNeils, and it is a great optic to use. Super fun, but first, let's start at the beginning. Hi everyone, it's K-Red, and welcome to my 2025 Peaceful Patterns Weekly Challenge. By creating a new tile each week, together we can learn something new, but most important, find some peace and calm in the chaos of this world. To start this week's pattern, I set myself up with 4 boxes. Hopefully, the plan is to use 3 of them for our step outs, and then down the final one just to be able to enjoy and have some fun. So, first thing is, these are super easy. We're going to make some wiggly lines, exaggerated S or S-type lines. And we're going to start by making them corner to corner, and see how they're going to meet somewhere in the middle. That's what we're going to call our middle. So now we're going to do another line, almost making like a T, where they meet in that same middle. I think we're going to like a few more. I've done this a couple of different ways where I've had less and more lines. I think I like it with a few more lines, so we're going to do it again. And what we're going to do is we're going to go just across and cut them in half again. So it's going to go right down to there. And then it's going to go to there. Then we're going to go to there. And there. They don't have to be exact or equal. That's all part of the fun. So this is all there is to step 1. So let's reproduce that again. Give me just one moment. We'll be all caught up. Alrighty. So on this one, my middle went a little wide. So we'll go ahead and we'll give ourselves a little solid center like that. And this will be step 2 at the start. So let me switch over to my red pen so I can show you what comes next. Great little optical Twilight Zone vortex kind of thing. And we're going to make some circles. Now, please control our inner minds and our inner critics. These circles do not have to be exact. They can go off the paper and then back on the paper and then back around. And that is step 2. So we're going to make our lines, and then we're almost like spiderish, and then we're going to make our circles. So once again, let's get caught back up for the final step. So now what we are going to do is let's make this middle a little thicker, a little bit wider. There we go. And I'm going to start, well, let's go back to the red pen so we can show it in our step outs. And we're going to start coloring in every other square. So there's 1, 2, and that gives us our breakout from there. So now on the next one, we're going to want to go right into here because these corners match. So it makes it easy for us to know what square is next. And we're going to do that one. It doesn't matter the pattern that you fill them in. It's just, to me, this is the easiest way to make sure that I don't fill in the wrong one, because that happens. And then so now here we can see this corner touches down to this low one, and we can see that it's every other, so we know that. These corners touch in, so we know we want this one. And then this one that goes off the paper. And once again, we can see where every other that way and every other this way. So let's turn on some music. Let's do a little fast forward and let's get these filled in. All right, folks, now here it looks like I had a funny line that kind of touched each other. So we're going to have to see what we're going to do with it. We know we need this one colored in, so let's color that one in. That was some poor line drawing on my part. And the question is, I think what I'd like to do is just ignore that little line, and we're just going to take this as a larger square. If we weren't doing the step outs and it was in all black, the only thing we would see of our air is that little line right there. But doing it that way, when we come across here, we're all back on track without any issues with our one on and one off. And the lesson is we just have to be careful when we do our lines. That right here, I did it there too, kind of, that I come in too close to the line next to it where there could be some square issues, okay? So do better than me, and we'll try to do better on that top one, and we'll see where we're at. So let's get back to it. No mistakes. Bobby Ross would say, just happy little accidents. So because I deleted this line, now we're going to see what happens when we're on odd number of squares. So we're just going to correct that cheat from before, give myself that extra line, and now we're going to be just fine. We can go up from here and from there, and we're back down right on schedule. And the reason we had that little boo-boo is because I wanted to just ignore this line because it was messing me up. So there. Even with that mistake, I think it looks awful neat. You can definitely see the patterns and the way it makes your eyes look. It's going to be a little bit different because we're dealing with the red and the black. This one will look neat, and we'll do some shading on it that will help as well. So let's draw one right from the beginning, and let's see where we go. So if you're new with us, thank you very much for being here. We are super excited to have you with us. Each week we draw a new pattern so that we can learn and do better, but mostly a prompt in our drawing where I find relaxation and comfort and calm in what can sometimes feel like a very chaotic, crazy kind of world. If you guys have time, have just a moment, would do me the honor. I really appreciate a thumbs up to the video. If you haven't subscribed and you're interested in learning some new patterns so that you can relax and find calm, joy, and acceptance in any level of drawing. There is that old myth from our childhood where we have to be the best to do something. And I fight daily to remind myself I don't have to be the best to find joy in it. It's worth doing it, even if I don't do it as well as others or as well. Well, everyone, it looks like my camera decided to cut off pretty much mid-sentence. Didn't realize it till I'd reached the end, but thankfully we were pretty close to being done with this pattern. I finished filling in these squares, alternating every other one. Did some slight shading just on the insides of some of the lines. I like it when it has that big bumpy kind of vortex to it. It's a little hard to shade on a square this small. These are a small little 9-inch, 10-inch tile. So it's just a small little tile anyway. And they do 4 of them. It makes it a pretty tiny square. So shading was difficult anyway. The pattern is called Twilight Zone. It's by CZT Suzanne McNeil. She has many books out, some booklets online. I highly recommend her. She is fabulous. And it was found on tanglepatterns.com, just like all the others. We poked a hole in it added it to our ever-growing list. I ask you to please subscribe, to please consider checking back next week at what the pattern will be, or look back at some of these other videos. There's a playlist of all of them if you'd like to check it out there as well. Please stay safe. Find joy and calm in this world that can sometimes feel chaotic, but there's plenty of beauty in. Thank you. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.